Hello and welcome back to another one of my FPL videos. I of course am the FPL train, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at my team selection ahead of game week 27. Now obviously last night as well we've just had the last few games of the FA Cup 5th round, and it turned out really rubbish if I'm being honest. So we only got one extra fixture for that game week 29, which we already knew we were getting anyway. And I was kind of hoping Man United were going to go out, so I knew I was going to free hit. Didn't happen. Forest go out, and now I'm like, I ain't got a clue whether I'm going to free hit or not, because at the end of the day, I can get 9 players for game week 29 without taking any hits. So, yeah, that was a complete waste of time, that FA Cup 5th round. So, yeah, I mean, especially not the Bournemouth game, but the other game, Brighton Wolves game, that was the most infuriating one, because obviously, again, if Brighton did knock out Wolves, which didn't happen, then I definitely would know what I'm doing as well. So, yeah, game week 29, I'm still clueless. But for now, we're on game week 27. We're going to look forward to that. But before that, we're going to look back on game week 26 and see how I got on. And go through it. And you can see anyway how I got on. So, overall, I scored 63 points in game week 26. Didn't take any hits. I went with this team and it absolutely crushed it. Got a nice green arrow. Top 70k now. Absolutely buzzing about this game week that's just happened. So really happy about it. We're going to go through it. So the goalkeepers then, obviously Dubravka didn't play for Newcastle because he was ill. So yeah, that was decent I suppose. Because Areola was going to be my goalkeeper anyway. So honestly, it made no difference to me the fact that he didn't play anyway. Because Areola was always going to be my goalkeeper for this game week. And yeah, I mean, it was disappointing from him yet again. I mean, West Ham have been awful and keeping clean sheets anyway. So yeah, I mean, they did win, but they conceded 2 goals. He was on for 3 points, but at the end, obviously, Brentford scored that second goal, which meant he lost a point, which is a bit frustrating, but, you know, can't do anything about it. Defenders, I mean, Gabriel, first of all, I mean, yeah, right at the end, obviously, Newcastle would get that consolation goal to make it 4-1. It's kind of like, oh, come on, but because most people have quite a few people have double Arsenal defence, I actually wasn't too fussed at all that obviously Arsenal conceded a goal. Obviously, if Gabriel scores, it's great, which I do think they should have really, you know. I mean, I didn't watch the game, I still haven't actually had a chance, but from what I've seen of people on Twitter and that, they're saying that he should have had some kind of assist for that goal against Newcastle, but it didn't happen. Estupiñán. We all got mugged off, didn't we? The fact that he went for pasta for his boss, we all expected him, well, kind of hoped, if anything, he was going to start against Everton. Wasn't the case. He didn't start. He came on, though, but didn't get anything at all. So only got the single point from Estupiñán. So that was obviously just really disappointing. And he started last night for Brighton. So kind of gets me a bit worried about game week 27, if I'm being honest. So yeah, not great for him. Kieran Trippier, I mean, Newcastle are looking dog right now, especially at the back. Obviously, Trippier has been getting these assists and a goal we got recently as well, so that's kind of overshadowed it for us. But yeah, another shocking performance from Newcastle there, so nothing from Kieran Trippier. And then Charlie Taylor, we're all praying that he was going to be fit for this game week. He was, thankfully, but, you know, he plays for Burnley, doesn't he? So he gave us 1 point. I was really, when he came in, when I found out he was starting, I was hoping it gets about the 60-minute mark, and then obviously company will go, right, that's enough now. I don't want you to pull anything, and we'll bring him off, and we'll get that clean sheet locked in. Because after 60 minutes, I do believe Burnley were on course for keeping a clean sheet, but obviously they conceded 2 goals in quick succession, and then Taylor goes off. So I kind of got lucky, really. Well, no, I didn't get lucky at all, to be honest. It was just, yeah, it was disappointing, really. All that hope just for 1 extra point wasn't the best. My midfield, though, they absolutely smashed it. This is the sole reason why I do have a green arrow. And, of course, that is Douglas Luiz. Honestly, I could not believe what I've seen as I was sitting there watching Gillette Soccer Saturday. Obviously, you see, not Newcastle, Aston Villa go 1-0 up, and you're thinking, oh, who is it? Ollie Watkins scored. Yeah, expected that. And then second goal, who is it? It's Douglas Luiz, thinking, oh, hey up, buzzing. Finally, that's what I wanted, because obviously a lot of people went for either Hwang, Neto, or even both, because obviously they had Sheffield United, which is obviously one of the best fixtures to have. So yeah, for him to score that goal, I was thinking buzz him. One of either Hwang and Neto have to score to even get, well, to equal the points. For him to then get a second goal, and bear in mind, neither of them were penalties as well. I could not believe my luck. I was very lucky this game week. 2 goals for Douglas Luiz, 3 bonus points on top of that. Absolutely buzzing about that. So yeah, could not be more happy with that. Absolutely brilliant that was. So really, really happy with that. Phil Foden absolutely smashed it, obviously, against Bournemouth. Got the goal, which is what it's all about, and got the 3 bonus points. So yeah, happy with that. I mean, it's a bit unfortunate now, though. More and more people own him from when I first got him. But, you know, I'd take the 11 points because it just makes your score look even better. Saka came away with 10 points. You know, absolutely smashed Newcastle, didn't they? So, yeah, he got a goal. You know, got a couple of bonus points. So, got to be happy with that. Then brings to my strikers. So, obviously, I just mentioned Ollie Watkins. He got a goal. So, yeah, really happy with that. 9 points there. Definitely take that. Plus, he was my 1 free transfer for this game week. So obviously I took out Darwin Núñez like I said I was gonna, and I brought in Wally Watkins, and it worked out. A real treat that did. 9 points. Obviously, if you think about it, I shouldn't have got rid of him in the first place, but you know, the fixtures just looked too good for Liverpool in 25. But yeah, 9 points there for Watkins. Happy with that. I mean, obviously it is frustrating that he did drop out of the bonus points, you know, right at the end, but yeah, I'll just take those 9 points, definitely. Then you're looking at Erling Haaland. He was my captain for this game week. Gotta say, it was disappointing, really, just to come away with an assist. But at least he got something. So he got 10 points there. And then Slanky Blank just got the 2 points from him. But look, let's face it, I wasn't expecting much from Slanky. He had Man City, right? So to only get 2 points, you know, I weren't too surprised. So overall, 63 points. Definitely happy with that. Nice green arrow. So yeah. Let's move on now to game week 27. So then, let's go through my goalkeepers first. So starting us off, I'm going for Dubravka ahead of Areola. Now, I'm not going to lie. When I first started recording this video, I did have Areola ahead of Dubravka. But as I was talking about it, I actually took myself around into swapping it. So I'm going for Dubravka currently ahead of Areola. Now, it's not guaranteed. This is the 1% I'm not certain about. So the goalkeeping situation is the only situation where I'm like, what should I do for this game week? And the reason is, Newcastle, obviously, they play Wolves at home. Wolves, Hwang went off injured last night in the FA Cup, and they've also got their other striker out as well. So currently they're going to be playing without a striker for game week 27, which is obviously an added bonus for Newcastle. And obviously it's being played at St James's Park as well, so it's a home fixture. And if you watch the FA Cup, Dubravka had an absolute storming game. I mean, obviously he didn't keep a clean sheet, so that ain't great. But he did have a really good game. Hopefully this means he'll have another good game. Newcastle have a high because they qualified. So hopefully that will mean they'll play well and keep a clean sheet. But obviously, I'm not confident with it at all. And when you look at Areola, he's away, which is an issue. If he was at home, I'd probably be more swayed for Areola, but he's away. He's playing Everton. Everton are shocking when it comes to attacking. When I watch them, I think they're shocking in attack. They've not got a good striker. I think Calvin Lewin's completely overrated. He had that one good season, and now he's pretty much been found out. I mean, he's good in the air-ish, but apart from that, I don't see him as any real threat at all, if I'm being honest. So that is something to really figure out. But obviously, Everton's midfield, it probably could get a goal. I mean, Decore, I mean, I don't know if he's actually fit, but that guy always seems to usually get a goal. McNeil's a possible threat. So yeah, I'm swaying ahead with Dubravka just because of the fact that he's at home and he played really well the other night. And yeah, obviously Wolves have a few strikers out injured at the moment. With the defenders then, I'm going for a back three this week. I'm not going to be starting Charlie Taylor, obviously, because he plays at Burnley. Even though they have a really nice fixture against Bournemouth, the fact is, Burnley just make so many mistakes at the back. It's just hard to watch. So yeah, he's going to be sat on my bench. As is Estupiñán. I just don't know if he's going to start, which is really frustrating because he's got Fulham away, and I would have started him if I can tell you he's going to start against them, but I can't. So unfortunately, he's going to be dropping on my bench as well. So that means Udogie comes back into my team. He's been out injured for a few weeks. He's not guaranteed he's going to play this game. So if it obviously doesn't play, Estupiñán will come on. He'll be my first defender to come on. But Udogie, he has been training with Spurs this week, so that's a positive. The manager did say originally he'd be fit around this time, so fingers crossed he does play this game, because Crystal Palace at home, that is a nice fixture for Spurs, and I do think they could keep a clean sheet in that game. Obviously, though, Palace do have a new manager. They won 3-0 with him the other week, but that was against Burnley, and it was at home. This is now against Spurs away, so I do think Spurs will keep a clean sheet, so hopefully Udogie starts that game. I've also got Kieran Trippier, which does mean so far I'm going for a double Newcastle then at the back. So yeah, like I mentioned, he's got Wolves at home. Wolves, both their strikers out injured, which is a positive. So fingers crossed he can keep a clean sheet this week. It's promising, but obviously with the way they've been playing poor. Hopefully Eddie Howe sorts that out. 'Cause, yeah, it's been a hard watch for Newcastle. So fingers crossed they can turn things around and get this clean sheet locks in. And then obviously that leaves Gabriel, Sheffield United away. I'm very confident, I'm not going to lie, that he's going to keep a clean sheet because it's Sheffield United. The only threat I see from Sheffield United is probably Brereton Diaz. Everybody else is just, not really a threat at all. I don't think Archer's a threat. Brewster is a League 2 player. McBurney is Championship player at best. So yeah, I have no worries really, to be honest, about the Arsenal defence. I do think they're going to keep a clean sheet. Particularly as well, you've got to remember this is the best defence in the league as well. So yeah, I'm 90% confident, to be fair, that they're going to keep a clean sheet with that one. So yeah, happy with Gabriel in my team. So yeah, looking at it on paper, the defence looks pretty good, to be fair. So with my midfield then, I've got Phil Foden, Man United at home. To be honest, that's a great fixture because Man United are terrible, right? They're conceding so many shots, and this is to the lower league teams like your Lutons, your Sheffield United. Teams are battling relegation. They're getting 15 to 20 shots against United. Man City get that many shots against United, they're going to score 4, 5, 6 goals. So, yeah, for sure, I'm happy for Phil Foden there. Saka, he's got Sheffield United away. That's a great fixture. Obviously, Arsenal, they're in unstoppable form right now. I mean, God knows how many goals they're going to score against Sheffield United. They just scored 4 against Newcastle. Week before that, they got 5 against Burnley. And the week before that, they scored 6 against West Ham. So, yeah, I've got to say, I'd be worried if I was a Sheffield United fan going into this game, because Arsenal are in hot form right now. And I do think they're going to score a fair few goals in this game. Heung-min Son's in there, got Wolves at home. Hopefully he does a lot better than he did last time. It blanked last time against Wolves. I think they lost 2-1 last time these two played each other. But like I mentioned before, Wolves are strikers. Both of them are currently out injured. So fingers crossed this time, the fact that it's at home, Spurs can get obviously revenge on them and score a few goals. And Son get a couple of goals, because since he's come back from the Asia Cup, he's only got 1 assist. And he's been a bit disappointing for me, if I'm being honest. I mean, I know he did actually blank in game week 26. And I think he came back in game week 24. So he's only had 2 games. But still, for a guy that I've kept for so long, hopefully this week he gets a few goals. Because so far, not a lot of people have brought him in just yet. And then that will leave me with, obviously, Luis Diaz. Now, this guy, going into this before, if everybody was fit, I'll be a bit worried about his minutes. But the fact that Jota's out injured, Nunez might be out injured, Salah's out probably injured for this game week, it makes me very confident that he's going to start and he's going to play about 88 minutes. So that I'm really happy with that. Nottingham Forest away. I mean, away is difficult, but Liverpool are they're looking good. Even with the kids, they're looking really, really good right now. Luis Diaz had so many chances against Luton the other week. Hopefully he gets the same amount of chances and he puts them away and gets a few goals, because obviously he's a differential for me. Fingers crossed he can get a few goals in this game, because obviously he's more of the senior attacker up there for Liverpool. So hopefully leads by example and gets a few goals. And that leads me then on to my strikers. So I've got Ollie Watkins up front, obviously. Luton away. Now that's not the easiest fixture, because Luton have been pretty decent, to be fair, at home. But they do concede goals. So I am confident Watkins can do well here. But I won't be too surprised, if I'm being honest, if he does blank. but because he's so highly owed, I'm not actually too fussed, if I'm being honest, if he does blank, which is a shame really, but yeah, that is the case. Erling Haaland, he is going to be my captain for this game week against Man United. Now, obviously, Saka, great person to captain for this game week as well. That has been the question for quite a few people. Will go for Haaland or Saka? I am going to go for Erling Haaland just because, I mean, I know he scored 5 goals against Luton the other night, but that is not the reason. The reason is Man United are terrible, as is Sheffield United. But, you know, when Sheffield United lose their heads, it's not as bad as how Man United lose their heads. When Man United lose their heads, they really lose their heads. So, Anthony, Rashford, who else is there? Fernandes. I mean, when these 3 guys particularly lose their heads, my God, it is hard. Same with the defenders, they can seem to lose their heads, particularly the wing back like Delo. He can easily lose his head if he lets a few goals in. So, yeah, for sure, I'm going to have Erling Haaland as my striker and as my captain. That's a certainty there. And then I've got Slanky, who's currently flagged, so he might not play in this game week. So I'm not too worried about it. He's currently, it's only a slight flag. He said he has a slight twinge in his leg. I think it's his knee, was it say? You know, I didn't look into it, if I'm being honest. I had a quick look, saw he was flagged, saw a little bit on Twitter, but didn't read too much into it. So I'll just double check now, currently on the FBL site. It says, yeah, knee. So, yeah, slight twinge in his knee. So he might not play in this game week, which is a shame because it's Burnley but away. So if that is the case, that means I will be bringing in Douglas Luiz. So this is why I didn't mention previously my midfield. So yeah, if Slanky is going to be out injured, Douglas Luiz will be my first man to bring on, who's obviously got a nice fixture against Luton away. Now, the reason why originally I put Luiz on the bench, obviously, is because, I mean, I know he just scored those 2 goals, but he hasn't actually scored a single goal away from home this season. All of his 9 goals, which is impressive, have been at home at Villa Park. So I decided to put him on the bench for this game week. So preferably, I hope Slanky is fit for game week 27, especially the fact that we've got the double game week for him in 28. So for now, Slanky's going to be in my team. He could obviously be dropped, and obviously Douglas Luiz come in instead, which isn't the worst thing in the world. So yeah, overall, this is going to be my team then for game week 27. I'm not going to be making any transfers at all for this game week. I'm going to be rolling the transfer. That is how confident I am. That is what I mean as well when I say I'm 99% certain about what I'm going to have on my team. I knew going into this game week I wasn't going to be making any transfers unless I had like some injuries from the FA Cup, which hasn't, well, you could say it's been the case with Solanke, but he didn't actually play in the FA Cup. But apart from him, everybody else is looking fit to play, which is good. So yeah, 100% I'm going to be rolling the transfer into game week 28. So let me know what you think of this team. Let me know what you think I should be doing. Let me know what you're doing for this game week. Please don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one.